Engage like Jesus. Be generous. Acts chapter 4:32. The multitude of believers was one in heart and soul. No one claimed that any of his possessions was his own, but they shared everything they owned. Luke emphasized the same kind of togetherness and common ownership. All who believed were together and had all things in common. They sold their possessions and goods and distributed them to all according as anyone had need. Acts chapter 2, 44 to 45. Their common ownership was not imposed on them by church leadership, but had its roots in their unity of heart and soul. These Christian brothers and sisters loved each other, and so they took care of each other. They had all grown up in a society where the family was the social unit on which they could rely when they experienced difficult times. What an amazing unity this early group of believers displayed. Keep in mind that they had come from every corner of the known world, not just Jerusalem. So there were many cultures represented in this group, and they came from every economic and social layer in society. Rich and poor, slave and free, men and women, they were all gathered with one purpose of one heart and soul. The result of this unified spirit was an outpouring of generosity toward one another. This unity was a wonderful evidence of the work of God's Spirit among them. Because of their unity, they regarded people more important than things. For one thing, this kind of sharing was completely voluntary, and private property was surrendered only as it was needed for a particular situation. Also, giving up personal property was not a requirement for membership in this group of believers. The early church shared their possessions and property because of the unity brought by the Holy Spirit working in and through the believers' lives. Grace was evident in the way the members cared for one another. They recognized God's ownership of everything. It all belonged to God and His people. Because God had touched their lives so deeply, they found it easy to share all things in common. God bless everyone.